Welcome to day 191 of our DeSo journey. I'm Ed Krasenstein here with my twin brother Brian, and we have a very special guest with us today, Dr. Kat Cohen, just fresh off of dinner with Nader.
Thanks so much for having me, guys. I'm already back in New York.
Yeah, so you won the NFT auction that Nader put up a couple months ago, maybe a month and a half ago, and it gave you the right to go meet Nader in LA for dinner. And that dinner took place on September 27th, which was earlier this week, I guess. My dates are mixed up. 28th.
Yes.
And so what were you expecting? What happened? And how did the dinner go?
Wait. First, let me ask you, where did you go for dinner?
So we went to the Beverly Hills Hotel, the Polo Lounge, where I stayed in LA, where I typically stay in LA, actually. And what was I expecting? Well, what was really interesting, obviously, about this dinner is originally when I bought the NFT in the auction, I didn't know who Diamond Hands was for sure. I had an idea, but the fact that he doxed himself the week before actually was unexpected, and I think made the dinner even better. Because it gave him the opportunity to come out in the press and for us to get to know him a little bit even before the dinner, because he did that town hall on Friday night and he was on various news channels speaking about DeSo and the blockchain and BitCloud. And what I found was, he's such a personable guy and he's so relatable and such a kind human being. He really comes off really well in person. So I was kind of surprised that he waited this long to reveal himself. I actually think he should have revealed himself a lot earlier, and that would have helped even more for the press of the platform. And certainly meeting him in person confirmed that. Just a really personable guy, very easy to speak to, very easy to relate to. I mean, I just felt like we had so much to talk about. The dinner, passed, it was like this, it was like in a minute, even though it was several hours.
Yeah, I think he's a great speaker. Like I've noticed that I watched some of his TED Talks or some of his other speeches he's given when he was with Cohen. And even his CNBC interviews. I think he's a great speaker. So I know he probably discussed some things that you can't talk about, but what excited you the most about the future of DeSo that you kind of got from speaking with him?
Well, there are certain things I definitely cannot speak about. So even though I didn't, I wasn't tasked with keeping the secret of who he was, obviously now, he did reveal some other things that I can't talk about. But what I can say is that given what he did reveal, I feel far more bullish, and I was already excited about and bullish on DeSo and the platform. I think there's going to be a new, sort of new UX, new interface. So the experience with the platform is going to be a lot easier to use, a lot smoother. It's going to be look a lot better and less clunky. So I'm looking forward to that. And they have plans. And now that he's revealed himself, he can talk more about it in the press. And he's a great representative for the platform. I mean, he very much understands that the platform belongs to the creators, right? And respects those creators. He respects the people on the platform and what everybody is doing. And I really felt that from him, and think that in many ways he is the best spokesperson for the platform. But I know he's onboarding other people to do that as well. And I think that I think we were aligned in the sense that we just need a lot more. Not necessarily all the biggest celebrities, but a lot more just normal people on the platform creating and putting out their content, and that ultimately it will grow. I think ultimately DeSo will be listed on Coinbase. And I think that will absolutely help the coin. So I'm looking forward to that. And I'm hoping that happens before the end of the year. You know, I left the meal thinking, wow, this really is the disruptor that I thought it was originally. We spoke a lot about, so when I originally got on the platform, I did my research. When I get involved in something, I go in head first, as you guys know, in planning Cloudsgiving. I like to do things 100%. So
Yeah.
I did a lot of research. And one of the things that stuck out to me was this idea of the associations that Nader spoke about in the town hall. And he actually spoke very specifically about university associations. So sort of having some kind of verification that you actually graduated from that specific university. And I think this can be applied to many things. You know, I've had this idea in my mind of creating what I call the POMP, the proof of membership protocol, but basically it would be like a badge in your wallet that's an NFT that is, you know, indisputable that you are a member of a certain organization. So whether that's a professional organization or it's an alumni club because you actually graduated from that school. And so we did speak about that. You know, my approach for this dinner was more like, what can I do to help, right? I'm here, I'm on the platform, I'm excited about it. And I think like other creators, we want to see it succeed. So I just want to figure out how I can help. And I think I can help with this. And this is a huge disruptor. You know, the potential to disrupt a platform like LinkedIn with real verification to me is, I mean, this is mind-blowing for me. This is world changing and got me really excited. So we did speak a lot about that.
Well, I know they're doing the foundation, the DeSo Foundation. Nader's ahead of that, but I know they're going to be appointing more members to, I guess you can call it the board. You know, I think you would probably be a good advocate or a good person to have on the board, especially because you know about these associations and you have experience with NFTs and you know have a lot of experience with cryptos. I think you'd be a great representative for that.
Well, thank you so much. I would obviously, you know, be honored to, you know, be a member of the board or director of the board or anything to do with the board. And as I told Nader, you know, any way that I can be helpful, I want to be, you know, I want to.
Did he discuss like how they're going to select board members or anything, or that's something that didn't come up?
He spoke a little bit about it, but I don't think there is a full list of people together right now. I think he is the only member on that board. But of course, you know, I would be honored to have a position on the board. And again, if that's the way I can be helpful, I would love to be helpful. I talked a lot about NFTs with him. So what I've talked about in some clubhouse rooms, so some people know that I've been in the NFT space pretty long and been researching a lot about NFTs and started pretty early. And you know, one of the things, if we rewind back earlier in the summer, is, you know, let's look at Cloudsgiving, right? One of the things we did when the NFTs were announced on the platform was we sold 6 golden tickets, right, out of the 100 that were available to attend the party part of the dinner on August 6th. And that was really, those were the first NFTs sold as a ticket to attend a party in someone's home with that kind of utility, right? So it was after that Nader had his auction for the dinner with him one-on-one. And then, of course, I sold the questions for him, right? The 20 questions, which really are the first NFTs. And I mean, and he knows this, and I think he probably should feel proud that these are the first NFTs sold as an opportunity to ask someone a question, right? We haven't
Yeah, it's
read
so
about,
unique. Yeah.
it's so unique. There's no celebrity or musician or actor has done this yet, which is really interesting to me. Like, they're not taking this opportunity that they could be, and I'm sure maybe at some point they will, but really he's kind of like the first celebrity, right? To that people were actually bidding on the opportunity to ask him a question. So,
And I think DeSo kind of brings that together. It brings the social aspects to the NFT space. So it kind of enables these various utility NFTs where, you know, like you're not really gonna find a utility NFT on Foundation or OpenSea because it just doesn't make sense over there. But here on DeSo, it can make sense.
Well, because you can discuss them, you know, you can post about it and say, and if people have questions, oh, but do I get this? You can answer that question. It's all built into the NFT. So I think that's one of the benefits of DeSo is that you have that social aspect of it all.
Did you have any, so we were at your house for Thanksgiving and we saw all the NFTs you have in your digital frames on your walls, and it's really incredible, your collection. Did you give him any advice on what he could do better for NFTs on the protocol level, or did you just have any discussion like back and forth? Did he ask you what he can do better as far as NFTs go?
well, I spoke more. So I have an NFT fund. I'm in a group called YPO, Young Presidents Organization. And in their crypto Discord, there's about 300 members worldwide who we call ourselves the Y Whales. I actually had them make an account on BitClout. You can find Y Whales. So
I saw that.
You saw that. So with them, we overnight a few weeks ago raised a lot of money overnight to create an NFT fund. And I am on one of 5 people on the investment committee. And it's been fascinating, actually. I've really done an even deeper dive into NFTs. And I explained to Nader my NFT investing strategy. And so one of the things that I see, so I'll talk a little bit about NFTs, you know, other than the unique ones that, you know, I sold this summer. The way that I've been looking at them is categorizing them as one, archaeological NFTs, so art history NFTs. So those would be like the curio cards that, you know, were at auction today at Christie's, you know, the first art project on the Ethereum blockchain. There's many other ones that are again, the first, right? Or like Bitcoin, which was created pre-Ethereum blockchain. And there's a whole bunch of these sort of, I would call them crypto art history projects that I think are worth collecting. So that's one category. And then you've got NFTs that I would call pure art NFTs. And those are the things that you saw in my house. So like a Beeple or a Pack, or a Mad Dog Jones or Ferocious. There's a whole bunch of artists where you might see more one-of-ones, or you're really getting art from like real digital artists. And then there's another category of NFTs, which are the generative projects. So like the Crypto Punks or Bored Apes. And we see these drops almost daily where you might see, you know, 10,000 of something, and they're forming communities. And those are, people are using them as their profile picture. So they have some utility there, but ultimately they're going to have other types of utility where these communities are entering different metaverses, and they're buying land in different metaverses, and that's where they're going to be socializing and doing commerce. So this another category of NFTs that I've been investing in for a while is virtual real estate, and in multiple metaverses. And so what I see for the future, and this is what I talked to Nader about, my vision that I've had for the last several years, is that these generative projects are going to end up moving into these metaverses. That's where the socialization is going to take place. And then, of course, we need social media, decentralized social media. So DeSo is perfect to layer on top of that. So if you have a Bored Ape, I have a Bored Ape, and we go into the Bored Ape Yacht Club, let's say in the Sandbox or in Decentraland, I'm going to want to click on you and see your decentralized social media profile and know who you are, right? And then I'm going to also want to see the other NFTs you have, right, in your wallet and know a little bit more about you, right? It's because today it's all about what's in your wallet, right? Show me your wallet. It's not, someone would rather have, a CryptoPunk, on their Apple Watch rather than in real life Lamborghini, right? That's what they're showing off, or on their profile. So what's in your wallet is going to be important, and why I think DeSo is so great, and this platform is the opportunity with the NFT. So in your NFT wallet, to also include those associations, right? The verifications. So you really know who this other person is you're connecting with on social in this metaverse. So this is sort of, I'm looking a little bit down the line, even though it's happening right now in a beta way, but that's really how I'm looking at the future. And I do think that that the DeSo blockchain is uniquely positioned, and BitCloud is uniquely positioned to be, the main platform in this space. And even if there are other platforms out there that come out, because it's the first, and I think they're, madly developing and doing really great work, even though, they started off a little clunky. I really am a big believer. I'm in it, like fully in it.
So then you kind of see DeSo as like the social layer that's going to be maybe across multiple metaverses and kind of connecting NFTs to the metaverses and to social.
Exactly. So I see the DeSo blockchain working with other blockchains. So especially for NFTs, that NFTs could then, your NFTs, so whether if you bought them on the Ethereum blockchain, they would still show up in your DeSo wallet in the future, right?
Yeah, and
they'd all be in one place.
Yeah, and Nader touched on that a little bit in the town hall, how like people ask, like, are you going to be able to buy DeSo NFTs on Ethereum using Ethereum? And he said, well, you can use, maybe in the future, we can use the wallet and the DeSo wallet to show off your Ethereum NFTs. So it merge that way. And I think that's super powerful, and that could be huge for the platform.
I think it would be huge for the platform.
So did he embrace the idea of the metaverse social layer? I imagine he would. Did he already think of this, or was that like a new idea that popped in his mind when he mentioned it?
Well, at different points during the dinner, he was actually taking some notes. So he was definitely listening, and I think he saw what I've been thinking about and how I view the future. And yeah, I mean, I look, I have so many ideas. Like my brain, it's so hard to shut off my brain at night. I am constantly on the go, and I love thinking about all of this, and also again doing my research. I do my homework, and I think it's, in meeting him and putting a face to and to who he really is, I was really comforted. I just felt like he gets it, and they are working towards this, and they are madly working towards this to make this happen in a great way. And the fact that look, I've already bought some NFTs on the platform other than the utility ones out there. I bought a couple of clout.
DeSo Mon. I actually
And
checked it out before you came on. I wanted to see what NFTs you own. I saw you
Yeah,
got some DeSo Mon.
I bought 2 DeSo Mon. May want to get some more, but there's a lot of great NFTs up there, and I just, look, again, the platform really belongs to the creators, and the creators are doing an incredible job. And I think we just need to onboard more creators doing amazing things. I think, the ways that I can be helpful, my network is beyond my network in New York City. My network is global, and I really want to get the word out to my network and have those voices on the platform active and contributing, and ultimately they will. I mean, they're rolling this out in stages, and I think he did the right thing by doxing himself. I think he really did the right thing.
I agree.
He's a good guy.
Yeah, and after listening to his town hall, I think we probably felt the same way that you did, probably not to the level that this guy is really smart, he's really sociable, he's really relatable to everyone, I think. And I'm sure you felt the same way meeting him in person and spending a few hours with him.
What surprised you the most about him? Like when you sat down with him, what stuck out and surprised you? Was there anything?
What surprised me? Well, I had heard him already speaking. I sort of watched everything that he had done in the press beforehand. Again, I do my research. And I listened in on the entire town hall and listened in how he interacted with the creators who we brought up on stage. And I think he really appreciates everyone who is so active on this platform. He knows that it doesn't exist without the creators, without the people. I don't know that I was surprised. I already felt that he was a really personable guy. I already know that he's a really smart guy for doing this. I think that, I don't think there was anything that was majorly surprising. I would say, surprised in the sense when you're surprised and delighted, because there are things coming up with the platform that we're like, oh, okay, this really is going in the right direction. I'm excited about this. I'm excited that he has this foundation he's putting together. I think that's exciting. I think the fact that the platform is going to be have a better interface and easier to use, that's exciting. He is onboarding more people that will have, great voices to add to the community. That's exciting. And I think he also appreciates when people challenge him, and that's how they've been able to grow in certain ways. So again, I would say I was sort of surprised and delighted by what's upcoming, more than just being surprised about who he was, because obviously I had seen him by this point, or seen him on video and heard him. But I just felt, look, he was very easy to speak to, and I felt extremely comfortable. So yeah, at first, I thought, oh my gosh, I'm going to be so nervous, before he came out and revealed who he was. I'm going to be so nervous about this dinner. And then I got there and I was just immediately put at ease. So that's awesome. That was great. Yeah.
So I know you're kind of short on time. So before we get to your final comments, I guess, I spoke to Salil Sethi right before this, and he told me to say that he's really looking forward to DeSo giving next year. And thank you for the awesome Cloudsgiving that you put on a couple months ago. But
well, he did thank you. He did say he wants to come to the next Cloudsgiving, which we'll call DeSo Giving.
I mean, who wouldn't want to, right?
Yeah, he said he definitely wants to come, and maybe we'll do it in LA, which is my hometown. And I think I just want to leave with this thought, is that at the end of the day, you know, the value, and I spoke about this at Cloudsgiving, you know, the reason why I put that on is here I am on this platform, and you kind of feel like you get to know people through their feeds and through their, you know, everything that they're posting. And I really wanted to meet people in real life. And I had gone to the Flick event in New York and thought, you know, really love to host something at my house and meet a lot of the creators, a lot of the voices that, you know, that you hear on the platform. And for me, that was highly, highly, highly valuable. And the value was in the relationships that were made, that I made with all of these creators. You know, so I have this whole new community of friends who are in all different industries, who do all different things. So, you know, relationships in life really are the key to a good life. There's a great TED Talk about what makes a good life, if you haven't watched it. And it's all about the quality of your relationships. So for me, that, you know, bidding on the dinner with Nader and being able to meet him in real life and form a relationship there, that's valuable. And I just think people need to hear this, because the relationships they have with each other are so important in life. You know, that it's not about, is the price up, down, this, that, you know, it's not necessarily all about money at the end of the day. And I think what's really been beautiful about this platform is that it's been like this, you know, small town in some ways. And we've made these great relationships, and we should value those.